This system of alignment was established in the year 2016 with a clear motive to fight for equal opportunities in employment and also to fight against the current practices that is followed in various technical departments. Today we have a total registered number of 2,557 members, but as per Combined Technical Service Ctan, we have more than 5,000 members. Therefore, I kindly request those members who are yet to register to kindly register under your own respective association. In total, we have 10 associations under CTA. So now it's time to the respective associations to introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nagaland, and I currently chair the Association of FGM, which stands for Forestry Graduate Association of Nagaland.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is and I'm currently serving as an information secretary and agricultural project engineering student association of Nagaland. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ctan. I'm currently serving as the president of Horticultural Project Association of Nagaland. And for the serving, privileged to be one of the speakers in this first Combined Technical Association of Nagaland. I'm a lawyer by profession and social activist.
Myself, President of the Association of Electronics and Communication Engineers.
I am Tunto Ayani. I am the President of Association of Electrical Engineers Nagaland. Hello, I am Mr. Chijo and I am serving as the General Secretary for the Science and Technology Engineering Association of Nagaland. This is Manu President of the Agricultural Student Association of Nagaland.
I'm Tarwang. I'm an ex-official member of Civil Engineers Association of Nagaland. I was serving as a president during the tenure to 2019 to 2020. Thank you.
My name is Vishnu and I'm serving as a convener of Combined Technical Association of Nagaland. So, we'll directly go to the point. See, the reason why this Combined Technical Association of Nagaland was formed is just to give equal opportunity to all the qualified technical graduates, not only the technical graduates but from different streams, so that they will at least get a chance to sit for exam. But the problem here is people are not getting a chance to sit for exam. So for that very reason, the CTA was formed. And now we would like to, we have drafted a memorandum which will be submitted to the government for to take up the issue. Now I will be highlighting some few key points which need to be taken care immediately. Back in 2017, there was a public coordination committee where CTA was a part of it, and we submitted 10-point charter demand to the Chief Minister during our former TRS time. Now, many of the issues were addressed, but some important points like our demand was to reduce the interview mark of NCS and for technical, both the technical and non-technical, to reduce the interview mark. So, as of now, NPSC has reduced the NCS mark interview mark from 75 to 55. But whereas For the technical, it was 65 before, it is still 65. So we are requesting, we have added that in our memorandum. We are asking the government to bring it down to 48 so that it will be in line with the NCS. Now, the second issue is when we submitted a memorandum, the PCC submitted a memorandum for setting up the Nagaland Staff Selection Board. Our initial demand was there should be no interview, just like SSC. But after so many years of waiting, again we are coming up with 12% of the total mark, which is coming up with 50 marks interview. See, our intention of setting up this NSSB is so that there can be more transparency in the recruitment process. But the problem is, they are coming up with the same system, 15 mark interview in Nagaland Staff Selection. So which is the same thing only. It's not going to make any difference. So what we have done is we have requested, we are addressing this one in a memorandum that there should be no interview for the Nagaland Staff Selection Board. And the third one is, just like this UPSC and all other commissions, what they do is they maintain an academic calendar. But as for NPSC, they don't have any kind of rules and regulations. It's all the procedure. So we are requesting them to maintain an academic calendar. This is also included in the memorandum. And in addition to that, our respective associations, they have included their grievances, which we will be submitting to the Chief Secretary so that it can be included in the cabinet memo. And regarding this illegal appointees, we have already terminated GSU on the Soil Department. Now we have given a deadline to the Forest Department to terminate 5 Forester 1 posts. Forester 1 is 2-star, it's not Patalaki level, so we are not going to read it. Now next, agreed SOs illegal. Technical, there are 61 posts, lecturer, demonstrator, and under PWD, again 58. All those are illegal appointees. And there are 9 polytechnics in Nagaland. So, as per the RTI that we have received, since under the polytechnic parent, there are only 2 staff. One is principal in charge, and the other one is multitasking staff. With only 2 people, how is the polytechnic running? Now the next is again Mukha. Here also the same thing. As per the RTI reply, the number of employees usually as a principal in charge and multitasking staff. So only those 2 people are running the polytechnics. We have not seen, but see, these things we have to really take care of. And see, one thing that I want to request the people is, whenever we try to do something good, there are always people who will try to criticize Ctan department. They used to say like, see, what we are doing is we are also humans, we are living, our power is limited. So we are trying to clear out things one by one. So have patience, I just want to tell people. Yeah, thank you.
I have a few points regarding the Civil Engineers Association of Nagaland. We have filed an RTI to the Department of Road and Housing in the year 2016, and according to the RTI replies, there has been 43 posts of SO, that is grade 2, surveyor and trustee altogether, illegally appointed. And on regard to that, following to the RTI replies, a representation was submitted by the CTN and Civil Engineers Association of Nagaland on termination of all appointments of SO2 surveyor and transmitter, which was appointed illegally. And between 6th of June 2016 and 10th of August 2018. All those appointments were made, so we demand termination of all those posts which was appointed illegally. And numerous times we have submitted a bill letter, we have submitted representation on 7th February 2019 and 5th November 2019. And subsequently, sit-in protest was also held with effect from 16th December 2019. So, we have been appealing, we have been agitating all these years. Now we have almost 5th year and the matter has not been resolved. After the sit-in protest, there has been a resolve by the Department of PWD that they need some time, they need 3 months in order to take all these things into the matter. And so we call off the protest and then we let the department to proceed according to their time that they have asked, they have requested. And till now, we haven't received any positive feedback. And so, last appeal letter was given on that issue. It was on 25th of October 2020. So, we request, we still demand for the termination of all those illegally appointed SO grade 2, which is clearly not, which does not fall under the purview of NPSC, but we demand those posts to be recruited openly and to terminate all those posts, and also the posts which was advertised some couple of years back, 12 posts of SO, and then we also request those posts to be included. And deliberately, after giving so much of appeal letter and representation by the association, the department has appointed again in the recent RDI plans we have found 3 more posts, SO posts was illegally appointed. So that is very disappointing, and we look forward and we are going to give a final ultimate version. So we also look forward positively that since all those posts does not come under the purview of NPSC, we are looking positively that all these posts, after the termination and the ones which are on the process, to come under the purview of NSSP. So, and one thing which I also want to highlight, that CDN was formed in the year 2016, and we are not born to fit in, we are born to stay out. Thank you.
Representing the Associations of Electronics and Communication Engineers in Nagaland, we have put forth the memorandum. We will put forth a memorandum out of many issues. We're going to put 4 specific points. 1. Separate the directorate for electronics and communication engineers. Number 2. Inclusion of electronics and communication engineers in polytechnic curriculum. 3. Review eligibility criteria for electronics and communication graduate to make eligible for the posts like lecturers, or also are eligible posts which electrical and electronics engineers are eligible. And the 4th point is normalization. I will briefly explain why the necessity about this in support of our memorandum. One, separate, why we need a separate directorate? Since with the emergence of the technology, the world is progressing so fast with the electronics. The Nagaland state were far behind the advancement in the field of electronics. Recently, last year, the government of India approved 76,000 crore scheme for semiconductor manufacturing, aiming to make India a global hub for the electronic manufacturing. And also, under the dynamic leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the government is launching the Digital India, or the government main objective is to go through the e-governance. So even the Nagaland government, or even I think the Nagaland government to look into the advancement and take up our issue seriously. And not only this will help Nagaland, but it will also help the educated unemployed, those who have studied electronics and communication engineers. Because many electronics and communication engineers were deprived of employment. Not because we are unqualified, but because the government is not giving us enough opportunity. So I need the government to look into this, and if once the government approves or separate directorate, it will also be more beneficial, and it will produce more specialists, especially in the field of electronics and semiconductors. And the second program, inclusion of electronics and communication engineers in polytechnic curriculum is because so far we have a polytechnic, but unfortunately we have only one polytechnic which is producing, which have own electronics and communication course. That is mainly ICIT, Institute of Communication Information Technology Moncton. That is the only polytechnic. And it is so unfortunate that even the intake of a student has decreased to 15. So I wonder why the government is not taking up this issue seriously. Because see, with the central objective of progressing, their objective is to progress, is to make India a global hub. But on the other side, in contrast, our government is taking behind, our government is neglecting with the technology. So I also urge the government to take up our issue and produce or include more electronics and communication courses and other polytechnic as well. Because engineers, we have four branches are there. It's mainly civil, mechanical, electrical, and electronics. These are the core subjects. So I also remind the government to look into this issue seriously. And at the same time, I also want the eligibility criteria for EC graduate because let's take the example of electronics and communication engineering courses, electronic and electrical engineering. We have, just look into the NLTV syllabus, we have 80 to 90% syllabus, so we have almost equal. So I also request the concerned authority to also review the eligibility criteria and make the EC graduate also be eligible in the process, in the first process where EEE electrical and electronics are also eligible. And then last issue is normalization, because last year the Association of Electronics and Communication as well as CS Computer Science IT Information Technology our association, we have what our association, we have draft common memorandum to the NBC Secretary, but unfortunately the Director of Technical Education have rejected our memorandum, and then we couldn't able to do that. Because why I want to echo this again is because normalization, we have four or five branches were competing for the same course. But however, our syllabus are different. So we approve the government to copy the
SSC or hierarchy normalization policy, because SSC and hierarchy are also following the normalization policy in order to check or in order to equalize the difficulty level. See, because our association, we have multiple association, we are fighting for a common cause, and it will sometimes happen that some department will have a tougher question, which is why we also, whereas on the other side, some department or some association, they have an easier question, so it will be unfair for the qualified eligible to get a greater opportunity. That's all from our associations of electronics and communication. Thank you.
My respected members would like to put forward some of the issues with several departments and appeal the concerned competent authorities of those departments to address our issue with due sincerity. Firstly, I want to make a mention of PWD Mechanical. Here, if we take a look at this is dated the 11th of August 2016, clause 2, quote, it says, I quote, it has been further decided that the department shall estimate the number of vacancies likely to arise during the next 1 year on account of retirement, promotion, and place the requisition for filling up such vacancies to NESC to enable timely recruitment. So in part of this, I want to appeal to the competent authority of the PWD Mechanical and the administrative head to initiate the necessary steps and inclusive the post to NPC for direct recruitment. Secondly, I want to make a mention of the Department of Health and Family Welfare. So under this department, there is a state culture unit headed by state culture, class 1 gazetted. So the person holding this post is going to be retired, is retiring on 30th of June next month. And the nature of the post is, it has to be, according to the nature of the post, it has to be a degree in mechanical engineering. But as of now, the person holding the post does not have the required qualification. Also, the department does not have the service rule for this particular section, state culture section. And along with that, Department of Higher Technical Education under the Directorate of Technical Education, the post of workshop superintendent grade A is still without the service rule book. So what I want to appeal to the concerned contemporary authorities of these two departments is to frame the service rule book, make sure that the service rule book is implemented, and then added in the service rule for these two state posts are implemented in the service rule. Because without the service rule, the government or the appointing authority has absolute power to appoint anyone based on how they deem it necessary, which is not at all fair. Also, arbitrarily exercising the mode of appointment. So, yeah, these are the issues from myself.
One representative from Computer Science and Information Engineering Association of Nagaland. We, the representative of Computer Science and Information Technology Engineering of Nagaland, filed an RTI to the Department of Directorate and Information Technology. And according to the RTI, there are one program officer post vacant, one technical assistant post vacant, and 4 LPO posts occupied through illegal appointments. We are planning to appeal to the department to terminate this 4 LPO illegal appointees and then requisite the post along with PO and TA to NPS that will be submitted on behalf of Ctan. The agricultural graduates constitute one of the largest technical graduate body here in Nagaland. But then the direct recruitment to the NPSC is quite less. So we'll be submitting a department based on that. So for the department for our graduates to actually get into the service, the ratio is 50% for the post of agricultural inspector and 20% for the post of agri officer. So what we're requesting from our association on behalf of our students is that the government of Nagaland consider the body to review this and then amend the service book so that the direct recruitment, the agri inspector post and agri officer post can be increased. For the agri inspector post, we believe a 70% ratio. Right now it's 50%, so we believe an additional 20% will do justice, as well as for the agri officer, the ratio is 20%. So we believe an addition of 20% leading to a complete of 40% will do justice to our request. Thank you.
I am representing the Forestry Graduates Association, and today we want to address 3 of our main points to the government and to the Concerned Department to look into this matter. Now, the first issue that we have is the post of forester one. Now, when it comes to the NPSC Combined Technical Service Examination, for the forestry graduates, the entry point in the service is forest ranger. Now, what we want to request the government is that the forester one to make it the entry point for the NPSC CTAC exam. Why do I say this? Is because the post of forester one. Now, I would like to bring out a rule that NPSC has mentioned, and this I would like to address. Rule 9 clause 4 of the NPSC, State Civil and Other Services Recruitment Rules. Now it says, and I quote, the Commission shall have power to seek information from any department regarding the vacancy positions of posts, including posts being filled up on ad hoc or contract basis, and vacancies likely to arise within the next 12 months, and issue directive to any department to send a requisition to the Commission for recruitment against such posts within a given time. Now, all categories of posts, both technical and non-technical, carrying the pay plan of rupees 5,200 to 20,200 with a grade pay of 2,800 per month and above are to be requisitioned to the NPSC. Now, NPSC clearly mentions that any post, both technical and non-technical, having a grade pay of 2,800 per month should be requisitioned to the NPSC. Now, I would like to draw an example of agricultural services. They have a post named as agricultural inspector. Now, this post is carrying the same payment, that is grade pay of 2,800, and the same thing for horticultural inspector. They have a grade pay of 2,800. Now, why is the post of forester 1 not included in the NPSC CTAC exam? That is one question. Now, being a graduate, I have graduated in the year 2016. Now, I have never had the opportunity to appear for Forester 1 exam. Why is that so? It's because the last dated exam that was conducted was 2014. And this post of Forester 1 has been recruited only through departmental exam. Now, when we filed an RTI, the reply that we received, all those recruitment that has been taking place since 2014, everything has been mentioned as DR. DR means direct recruitment. Now, what does direct recruitment mean is it has been recruited directly from NPSC through exam. But when was the exam conducted? Never have we ever heard that a Forester 1 exam is being held. We have not appeared. So, all those posts that has been occupied since 2014, what are those? That is the question. So the first request that we have to the cabinet and to the department as well is that to kindly requisition this post of Forester 1 to the NPSC Combined Technical Service Examination to make this as the entry point for the forest graduates. Now, point number 2, the issue that we have is
Now, since forestry is a diverse entity, we have the requirement of many technical departments in our department in itself. For example, there is a requirement of mechanical engineer. There might be a requirement of zoologist. Now, when it comes to this same exam, we, the forestry graduates, are made to compete for the same post with all these other departments. Now, these other departments, they have the advantage of using their paper and coming in and working in a department. What we want to request the government is that to make use of this forestry technical syllabus. Now, we don't have any problem with other departments coming in and appearing in our state exam. We, as forestry graduates, we don't get that opportunity to go about and appear in other departments, but other departments have that opportunity, but we don't have any problem if they want to appear. But what we want to request is make use of this forestry technical subject and to include this syllabus. Or if that's not the case, what we can also do is, what we want to request is that to mention the eligibility criteria for required course. Now, in the recently conducted combined technical service examination, in the soil and water conservation department, there was a certain requirement of ranger, specifically for forestry students only. Now, in that manner, whenever the government or whenever the concerned department is requiring a certain technical department to be working in the forestry department, it will benefit the forestry graduates if specific requirement is mentioned. For example, if a mechanical engineer is required in a department, keep that post aside for that department alone. And the remaining posts that are requisitioned, let the forestry graduates alone compete in that. Don't mix these two. When you mix these two, the ratio, it becomes unbalanced. So there's another issue. Now, the third point that I want to mention is the inclusion of forest guard in the NSSP. Now, I would like to mention that according to the Nagaland Staff Selection Board regulations, it clearly mentions that all registry posts that do not come under the purview of NPSC are to be requisitioned to the board for direct recruitment. Now, forest guard being a grade 3 post in its nature, it should inevitably be recruited through the NSSP. So these are the 3 requests that we have from the Forestry Graduates Association, and I believe that the Commission, the government and the concerned department will look into this matter. Thank you so much.
We, the Agricultural Engineering Graduate Association of Nagaland, would like to bring forward these said grievances. The first one, requests for requisition of soil conservation assistant posts to NSSP. The current scenario of post allotment for soil conservation assistant posts, that is grade 3, seems quite unfairly placed at this point, at this post under the Soil and Water Conservation Department. That is given to the trainees directly after their 2-year course completion, whereas the maturity candidate possessing technical degree or diploma who are capable enough with all required skills and knowledge are restrained and unable to avail for this position due to the above stated unfortunate reasons. Also, according to the Nagaland Staff Selection Board Regulation 2020, all grade 2 posts that do not come under the purview of NPC are to be requested to the board for their recruitment. Henceforth, the above mentioned posts, which comes clearly under the purview of NSSP, should be recruited to Nagaland Staff Selection Board for 2-year training as well as the degree or diploma holders. The second point is that creation of separate agricultural engineering unit at block level or district level. Dated 11 February 2020, the Deputy Director General of Indian Council of Agriculture and Research has directed for creation of a separate agricultural engineering unit at least at block level in every state or at district level to to counteract the corrosive post-harvest losses and to assist farmer in running agricultural machinery at the farm level smoothly so as to enhance crop production and processing and also value addition. As mechanization is the only way forward in farming, agricultural engineers who understand both engineering as well as agriculture should be given an entity so as to tap the potential and utilize at the best to boost national economy. Therefore, it is our appeal to the government to take the necessary action at the earliest.
Agriculture Service Rule 2019. Firstly, recommendations for the horticulture trade, that is BSc Horticulture in the recruitment process under the Department of Horticulture, Government of Nagaland. In the service rule states that the qualification for the department is BSc degree or OT. But in other states like Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Jammu and Kashmir, Haryana, and Andhra Pradesh, where horticulture department is a totally different entirely like Nagaland. The qualification requirement is only BSc horticulture. While in other states like Sikkim, Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, and Tripura, the qualification of horticulture and BSc degree are considered equivalent. The candidate involved for the same post. And in the case of Sikkim and Manipur, they have a separate recruitment rules for the different posts like horticulture assistant officer and agriculture assistant officer, where the horticulture assistant officers are only for BSc horticulture and assistant agriculture officers are only for the BSc degree holders. Well, the service rule of the Nagaland Agriculture Service Rule 2016 stated that the qualification for candidates in the Department of Agriculture is only BSc degree. I think it's unfair for the horticulture graduates in the Nagaland since we are entitled to the agriculture department, but the qualification in the horticulture service rules stated agriculture and horticulture as well. And for the second point is maintaining the ratio of career recruitment through MPC and by promotion. As per the RTIC, since the bifurcation of the horticulture department from the Department of Agriculture since 1992, only 4 posts have been recruited by the Commission. Only 4 posts. That is 1 post in 1996, 1 post in 2007, and 2 posts in 2020. And even the service clearly states that the post of horticulture inspector should be recruited 50% by the Commission and 50% by promotion. And as per the RTI, the total number of horticulture inspector in the department currently is 85. But out of which only 2%, 2 seats, 2 seats out of the 25 is recruited by NPAC. So we urge the authority to withhold any promotion until the same ratio is implemented. And for the third point, as mentioned, since the bifurcation of the department from the agriculture department since 1992, which is almost 30 years now, only 4 posts have been recruited by NPAC and the rest have been through departmental recruitment. So we urge the government to look into this matter and recruit the post of AHO, which is Assistant Horticulture Officer, which is a grade 2 post. Like the post of agriculture officer in the Department of Agriculture, to recruit the government to recruit the department to recruit the AHO post at a ratio of 30% by the Commission and 70% by promotion. Those are the grievances of the horticulture graduates and students association of Nagaland. We look forward to seeing that. We look forward that the government will look into this matter and take immediate action.
I personally
been very impressed because the 10 different technical associations coming under the banner of Combined Technical Association of Nagaland is having the first general conference. This is a history. And when I look at their grievances, it is very simple. They are not asking to give us job. They are not begging for job, but they are simply asking, give us the opportunity to also be part of the competitors. So, in the first place, I was very reluctant to be part of this first general conference because I'm not from a technical background. But they come with the theme called Equal Opportunity in Public Employment. And this itself is a government policy. The theme for today itself is a government policy. The government must realize that. This is the reason I happily accept to be one of the speakers today, because I want equality to be prevalent in our society. As a social activist, this is what I personally be fighting for. How can I ensure equality? I'm able to give fresh posts like that. But learning that through the RTI, in terms of 100 posts are vacant, yet to be requisite, if political will is there, they can come up strongly. I can give you 100 posts, 200 posts, 300 posts within 2 months' time, within 3 months' time. But this is how the government can give opportunity to the eligible candidates, and that is how equality is ensured. Unless until this opportunity is not given, there is no equality. There is no equality. I come to learn that have served so many representations, memorandum and ultimately. Why should they go and fight, guard and harass? I want to point out one poem from the government of Nagaland, which I have already read out during my sessions. But these poems, the government of Nagaland poem number AR 3/179/27 part dated 13th January 2010 on the subject irregular appointment of government servants by some appointed authorities reveal the naked truth about the most unethical department it is that has taken a strangler hold on governance in the state, which is stated as follows. It has come to the notice of the government that a number of unauthorized appointments have been made by certain HODs on the eve of the retirement without following the prescribed procedure. Now the government has taken a decision that all these irregular appointments made by them should be immediately cancelled by the concerned administrative heads of the department. And also no prosecutions on the guilty officials be taken up by filing an FIR in the Vigilance Commission, and all payments of pension benefits should be withheld till the new case is disposed of. This is the order given by the government. We did not found any HOD cancelling the illegal appointment, then unauthorized appointment, the backdoor appointment. When we talk about illegal, backdoor, or unauthorized, it simply says that appointment made without making advertisement, following the open process. The government has no right to conduct
any examination or recruitment in their capacity. Even the cabinet position cannot make this kind of illegal legal. Even to make so-called liberalized. This is how the cabinet are seeking every now and then to liberalize their own candidate, the politicians' own children, but all these are illegal. The decision of the cabinet decision to make illegal legal is still illegal. That is why today, looking at my brothers and sisters here, being a young father, I also hold a responsibility. And we don't want criminal cases. You may be running Vigilance Commission. Vigilance Commission is took over by local government. So, in place of Vigilance Commission, this should be taken up by local, which is only looking at the corrupt practices. And this itself is corrupt practices. So when the FIR is closed, the police have to do the job. They have to arrest. But in a community, we are always ready to defend and shout for the criminal. That is why this is a warning to those families or community. If someone is involved in illegality, that time don't blame our youth, our technical educated persons. They are educated. They know what they are doing. That is why today, when we come together here, this first conference, I don't simply say we are making history. We'll get to, we'll overpower, we shall overpower all those unauthorized activities and to join our hands together as a social activist. And I have the pleasure to present a talk on equal opportunity in employment as a worker, because I should also hold the word equality as a work practitioner. So thank you for this opportunity. I enjoy being part of this young, highly educated, technical brothers and sisters. Thank you.
For us to accumulate the resources, we have already prepared this memorandum alone from different associations. But see, what I want to encourage you is, actually I was concerned about this computer science and the IT game. Of course I am concerned about all the branches, including my own branch, CSIT and advertisement online. Representation to prevent CSIT level. See, actually I wanted to say, taking example of the there was no advertising. So same thing, so many avenues. So hopefully the department will advertising